Johnny Talks Sports, another episode of Johnny Talks Football here. I'm going to go over my NFL Wildcard Weekend predictions. I'm going to start with the two games on Saturday. First one, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are on a big winning streak, taking on the Houston Texans, who are in the playoffs because the AFC South is a weak division. Here's how I see this matchup going. Now, Kansas City won this Week 1 matchup 27-20. I see this being a wide receiver battle between Jeremy Maclin and DeAndre Hopkins. The way I see it, whichever one will have more receiving yards will win the game for their team. I see DeAndre Hopkins having a solid 74 yards receiving. However, Jeremy Maclin, I see him having about 113 yards and a touchdown. Maybe he might even do a jet sweep for another touchdown. Either way, I like the Chiefs to win this one 24-19. I just think the Texans are going to kick about 2 or 3 field goals, or an extra point's going to be missed. That's why it's 19. I know that's not a normal number, but moving on. Steelers taking on the Bengals. Now, the Steelers are in because they beat the Browns last week and the Jets lost to the Bills. And the Bengals are going to be in this one, with most likely without Andy Dalton. They're most likely going to start A.J. McCarron for the Bengals. Cincinnati won in Week 8, 16-10. Then Week 14, Pittsburgh won 33-20. And this was the game that Andy Dalton went down. And that's when A.J. McCarron has been the backup ever since. Or he's been the QB ever since he was starting as the backup. I see the Steelers winning this one, even though they might not have DeAngelo Williams in this game. I just think that Roethlisberger has so many weapons as receivers, like Heath Miller, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Marcus Wheaton, and Sammy Coates. Even though we haven't seen much of him this season, I just think it'd be a good asset to have. He hasn't really done much for Pittsburgh so far. Anyway, I like the Steelers to win. I like the Steelers to win 35-28. I think AJ Green and Jeremy Hill have a good day for the Bengals, or night, because this is an evening game. But I don't think it'll be enough. The Bengals' streak of losing in the playoffs continues. They still won't be able to win a playoff game. Now on to the Sunday games. The Seahawks who could be the hottest team in football after that pounding against the Cardinals. Even though they've lost to the Rams twice, they've struggled at some point in the season. And the Vikings, who are in the playoffs by winning the NFC North. Now these two teams played in Week 13. Seattle won 38-7. They contained Adrian Peterson in that one. I like the Seahawks to win this one, but I think it's going to be very much closer than 38-7. I think Adrian Peterson's going to do better than he did the performance before. I think Russell Wilson's going to make some plays toward the end. I like the Seahawks to win 31-21. And finally, the Packers versus the Redskins. The Packers, they have not looked very good this season. They've been very inconsistent, taking on the Redskins, who've also been very inconsistent. With the Packers, they started off very promising, but then the wheels kind of fell off a little bit. With bad loss to the Broncos, the Bears on Thanksgiving. It just goes on and on with the Packers. And the Redskins, you don't know what they're going to bring to the table, but either way, they seem to be winning games. The key to this one for both these teams is to put pressure on your opposing quarterback. Because Aaron Rodgers has been getting flustered all season, and Kirk Cousins only seems to do well when his offensive line is doing well. Kirk Cousins puts up big numbers, but it's all about what happens on the other side of the field. I think it's going to come down to defense in this one. But I just think the experience of the Packers defense is going to help them out in this one. I like the Packers to win 31-28. This could probably be an overtime game to me. It just kind of depends on how it plays out. Anyway, those are my wildcard predictions. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Or if you're watching for the first time, I promise I will have better videos in the future. Anyway, that is my video. Have a great day, everybody.